My name is Eric and I am 17 years old.
I'm Kate and I'm 18 years old.
My name is Owen and I'm 18 years old.
My name is Luke, I'm 17 years old.
My name's Louis and I'm 13 years old.
My name is Rachel and I am 15 years old.
My name is Erin and I'm 17 years old.
When I was young, in about second class, I always wanted to be something like a teacher, even though everyone else more being stuntmen and everything. But as years got on, I thought, you know what, James Bond, because he's a secret agent, he's got cool gadgets, nice cars, awesome suits, he gets women, which is pretty handy for life. But then years went on, I saw superheroes, and superheroes are far more interesting, because they get to save the world from evil bad guys, well, cities, but still. And they get, again, awesome stuff, like Spider-Man has superpowers, Batman has a Batmobile, which, who does not want a Batmobile?
When I was little, I was convinced that when I grew up, I was going to marry John Bon Jovi from Bon Jovi, or a Power Ranger. That I was going to work in McDonald's and be a writer on the side, and that we'd live in a little cottage out in the woods and have a little vegetable garden together. And he'd never ever have to play shows or go save the world again.
When I was younger, I used to want to be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and I even went around the house with a whole pile of sewed stuff down my back of my top. And my mother-in-law used to always say to me, I'm going to end up with a bad back. And then I abandoned that idea when I was about 7, when I first saw Pokemon. I believed they were real and wanted to be a Pokemon trainer when I got older.
When I was a kid, about 3, I wanted to be a Tyrannosaurus when I grew up. Then I realised that probably wasn't going to happen, so instead I decided I was going to become a mad scientist and clone them. And so I went through this stage between like 5 and 7 where that was really the only thing I thought of. I thought I was going to have like a big volcano lair and stuff like that. It was really shaping up to be a pretty weird life. And then at about 9, my dad played the song Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water for me. And so from there I decided I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to grow up. I wanted to like get a big mansion and have my own T-Rex skeleton in the hall, you know, because that's what you do, you know, when you get rich and famous, you get by pointless things. And so yeah.
When I was a baby, I refused to go to bed at night without watching Barney, and I used to believe that he existed.
When I was, like, say, 6 to about 10 or 11, I always used to come up with a different job every week that I wanted to be. Like either a vet, a doctor, a policeman, a fire engine, and loads of other different things. And my granny used to always ask me, what are you going to be this week? Sometimes she's asked me that every day.
When I was younger, I wanted to be a shopkeeper because my uncle owned a shop, and at night time we used to go in and we used to play in it. And we used to like bring like the groceries up to the like counter to buy them, and then we had to clean up after ourselves, but we didn't always do a very good job.
When I saw the Truman Show and Toy Story, they made me incredibly paranoid. Like, Toy Story, I actually thought my toys were alive and I was mistreating them because I wasn't playing with them, so I felt really, really bad. And the Truman Show, I thought people were filming me. I still kind of do every so often.
I used to believe that my house was haunted. It's still haunted. And that every time I used to look out the window, there used to be a dark shadow just pass over the window. And that's why all my stuff started to go missing, because the ghost used to take them, and that he used to live in our attics. And then I found out it was just mice, and that there was no shadow outside the window. So, yeah.
When I first heard of that Jesus was crucified on a hill, shortly after that we were driving down to Waterford, and I saw a cross up on a hill, and I used to always believe that was where Jesus was crucified.
When I was little, my mum told me that if I ate the crusts of bread, I'd get curly hair.
When I was younger, I played a game once. It was called Turok, in which it depicts you as a Native American in a lost land, where there's monsters and dinosaurs and all the sorts. So I decided I wanted to be this guy. So I had myself a makeshift bow and arrow that I bought in the pound shop, a prop knife and all. I even found a real combat knife at one point. So the neighbours would sometimes see me going around swinging a knife in the air. Not very safe for parents around, I'm sure. But anyway, and I was in a field once. I used to go out and pretend I was in this lost land. And I pretended I was hunting. Now, in the game, you can get chased by a massive T-Rex or something. And I was down, crouched in a field, and all of a sudden, from behind me, a cow lows. It wasn't particularly loud, but I was so into the moment, as you do when you're a kid. I jumped up, I ran back home, screaming. I lost my bow and arrow and all. I ran face first into the door. I had to open it again. And when my mom was like, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?" I just said, "The cow is going to eat me."
When I was about 6, I always used to think there was gaps in my stairs. So I always used to jump, like I'd skip a few in case they were like fake and swallow me up into the depths of hell.
When I was younger, my sisters told me that our like toys and our teddy bears came to life at night, and they would just walk around, and then when we wake up, they would like be where we left them, and it was like before Toy Story was like in the cinemas and before it was like big.
When I was about 5 or 6, I remember for a month or two I had a consistent nightmare that happened every night where Wexford town was covered in zombies, eating everyone as zombies do, and I turned into a devil, which was terrifying looking, and I had to go around and save my family. It's still pretty terrifying.
When we were little, my sisters and I used to bring our teddies into the bedroom and bandage up their legs. So we wanted to be a vet, and today I still want to be a veterinary.
I used to believe that babies were evil because they used to eat everything, and then they used to poop a lot than a thing that small should. And they used to cry and keep me awake. That's not nice.
I've always had a fear of birds. I never knew until recently where it came from. And then when I saw Bug's Life again, I finally realised that when the bad guy gets fed by birds, that was where the fear originated from.
I used to think our Hoover was Nunu from the Teletubbies.
When I was younger, if music was played when I was about 3, I couldn't resist. I had to dance to it. And one of the most awkward times was a song was played at a funeral, and we were in the church. And now, I can't remember what the song was for the life of me. For some reason, I got up in my Snoopy dungarees and all and started dancing at the back of the hall during her funeral, and I could safely say, unbeknownst to me, that was the most awkward moment of my life. Although I did get a good laugh, I must say, and that's the first time I can ever say I've experienced laughter at a funeral.